Chris Harris here. Another episode of Buck Sports Podcast presented to you by A10 Studios. I want to welcome everybody in. This is our live Friday night recap show. Be breaking down some of these all the action that happened Friday night round 3 games. Appreciate everyone joining us in. We're live here on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Got Coach Brandon Maynard with me, and got Brandon Blackwell with me this evening, waiting on seeing if we can get Magic in here. I'm having a little issue with the Instagram. Give me 1 second, man. But fellas, man, appreciate y'all joining me. Had a lot of great games this past Friday nights, and looking forward to talking about them. Come on, Instagram.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
First of all, man, how y'all doing this evening?
I was doing good until my fantasy team started dwindling.
I don't know, man. I don't want to talk about that right now. I've been trying to keep up.
I'm gonna tell you, y'all make me so glad I don't participate.
No, man. Look, man. It adds a little bit of stress. I mean, it's fun though, but man, when you're winning. But
I hate relying on other people.
yeah, for real.
But I can say, yesterday me and my family had our Thanksgiving, and me and my cousin settled the dispute of who was the best cornholers in the family. We went 6-0. Won the championship belt. So we are the champions. Just to solidify it, there was a lot of junk talking between my brother and my uncle. We tried to tell them, but me and my cousin Craven had to show them.
And sometimes that's the case, man. We can show better than we can tell sometimes.
I mean, I wake up in piss excellence, so
Yeah. I mean, absolutely no doubt. Absolutely no doubt.
Well, I try to anyway.
Right. I just try to hit the hole in the middle.
You feel me?
Well, look, man. I appreciate everyone joining us. Like I said, feel free to comment. That's why we do the live shows, man. Like the fan interaction, comment, ask any questions y'all got. Just give me 1 second, man. I'm still working on this Instagram, but we are good on YouTube and Facebook. Hopefully, everyone can hear us. I'll see us good.
Let
And
me share
I'm
this
gonna
real
pull up.
quick.
I'm gonna pull up the scoreboard, and we're gonna go ahead and get this thing started. Let's see. Come on, Instagram. We might be SOL on Instagram tonight. Don't want to. It's not one that don't want to act right tonight. Yeah, we're gonna cancel out the Instagram for tonight, but we are live on Facebook and on YouTube, so plenty of ways to check us out there. Let me pull up the chat. Appreciate everyone checking us out. Please feel free to like the video, share the video. Like I said, comment any questions. Shout out to school, shout out your player if you're a parent or family member. All right, we're gonna go ahead and pull up the scoreboard. A lot of great games. So had a couple had an upset Friday night. We'll talk about, but the scoreboard real quick. We had 71st defeating North Brunswick 50-0. Jacksonville defeated Cape Fear 28-14. Havelock defeated Scotland 57-21. Whiteville defeated Eastern Wayne 48-14. Kinston defeated Aiden Griffin 20-9. James Kenan defeated Wallace Rose Hill in a overtime thriller 14-13. Pender defeated Gates County 60-20, and Lakewood defeated North Duplin 26-20. Now, fellas, man, y'all hear these scores? Y'all saw the results, man. Anything on this through that list of games that really kind of stuck out to you, or any other surprises Friday night that that you observed?
The Havelock score, I thought that game, the Havelock and Scotland County was gonna be, a little closer, but I didn't think it was gonna be that bad. Um, J.K. Wallace was everything it was supposed to be. Uh,
Yes, sir.
Lakewood score, that was everything it was supposed to be.
Hey, we called
Um,
it.
I mean, we've been saying it all year. It's hard to beat good teams two times in a season. But other than that, the other game, 71st, pretty much that was guaranteed what they were
Yo,
going to do.
they gonna handle business.
Right. But I think the only game that I could think of that was out of sorts was the Havelock and Scotland County game.
Yeah, I'd have to say I didn't really have no. None of them really surprised me. There was a couple that I picked, on the hopeful side that we pull it out. You know what I'm saying? I was really hoping Cape Fear will pull that out. I know a lot of people didn't agree. They thought Jacksonville was going to blow them out. The score wasn't that bad in that one. I just, boy, I was hoping Cape Fear was going to pull that one, but hey, there's always next season on the basketball. But um, other than that, I'd say I picked Scotland. I was kind of hopeful. I just kind of wanted to see. I wanted to see them go ahead, and they usually are. They're usually further along in this thing than a lot of teams, more so than not. So I was hoping that they would pull it out, but it looks like the better team definitely took the cake on that one. So like I said, no big surprises, just a couple hopeful picks I had that didn't go my way.
Gotcha, man. To me, I actually went perfect on my picks this last week, man. The biggest, like I say, I'm not gonna say it's a surprise, but a team that's just been playing some really good football. Um, and said Bradley Gainey is talking about him in the chat there. Kinston just keeps on winning. Um, they are playing some outstanding football right now. We talk about teams peaking at the right time, rolling
Oh
at the
yeah,
right time, and they're doing all this on the road, man. Road Warriors going, you know how difficult it is, to go on the road 3 weeks in a row, lower seed, and come out and break hearts, man. That's exactly what they're doing. So like I said, for the third week in a row, Kinston pulling out a victory, man. They're a red hot team, playing some really good football. Yeah, definitely excited to talk more about them this coming week and another big time matchup. I feel like that's gonna be a great game, man. A lot of great athletes on both sides for both teams, and I'm speaking on the next round where Kinston will be traveling to Whiteville,
yeah.
and that's gonna be a great game, man. But that's a hot football team, man. And shout out to the East Central Conference, man. They said one of the toughest conferences in two-way, a lot of history, and you still got two teams there in the final eight in two-way. So that's quite an accomplishment. And we talked about them before, man. Kingston, played JK tough, played Wallace tough. Could have easily been champions of that conference. The ball just didn't quite bounce their way, but they're showing right here in the playoffs. They're playing some really good football. Um, Hey, Magic Man, if you're listening, man, go ahead and try to. We waiting on you, man. Try to go ahead and get up in here. Um, we'll go ahead and see, go game by game, man, and kind of talk about it. It's not gonna be too much to talk about in this 71st North Brunswick game. I mean, we've been talking about it since we started covering them. 71st is on a mission. That is a team that's full of talent, studs. I mean, athletes all over the field, D1 talent over the field, all over the field. Some great coaching. That's just a team that's just they different, man. I say when it comes to the 3A East, you know, like I said, no disrespect to any of the teams remaining, but I mean they just a different animal over there, man. And I really I saw the score and I said, that's business as usual, man. They really nothing really stood out to me. Like I said, they're just doing what they're doing. This just handling business. Any thoughts on 71st North Brunswick?
Yeah, not really. I mean, yeah, you pretty much covered it. I mean, 71st is just on a mission. From that loss they took last year, I think they've been, they're just focused and, tunnel vision straight to states. So I feel bad for whoever's in front of them.
For
Which I'm
sure.
glad. Which I know we want to kind of save it most of it for Wednesday, but you can't help but think about it, man. They're taking on Green Jays Rose next, and Jays Rose has been giant killers, man. Like it's crazy. They're everybody looked at their schedule. Everybody 30 seed. They came into the playoffs 2-8, but you look at 5 of their 8 losses are teams that are still playing. So their schedule, I mean, Sean Pong pointed it out. Uh, their schedule was crazy this season. I didn't realize it until I looked at it, and I said, I mean, like I said, out of their 8 losses, 5 of those teams are still playing, which that just goes to show, man. That is, I mean, that's a battle. I mean, we war tested football team, man, and they just been giant killers. And by no means am I picking them to beat 71st, but that's an interesting matchup. But I digress. 71st is on a mission; they're different. But if
I,
James
I just
Rose,
want,
if
I
James
just
Rose is
want
playing anybody else, I will pick them this week because they just been on fire, man.
Oh, for sure. I just wanted to point out, you know, I mean, we praise those guys over there at 71st. We speak very highly of them. They give us, something to speak highly on. You know what I'm saying? Not just because we like them or know any of them or whatever. I mean, they're just a very productive team. They give us, plenty of good things to say. But I just want to say how uncommon it is in the third round to see that kind of score. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, they goose egged that team
Yeah.
in the
Put,
third
put,
round,
put,
third
put up
round of the
50.
playoffs,
Ain't-
and they took a donut home. I
I think
mean,
any, I think anytime you're putting up anything over 50 points on a team in the third round, you're dangerous.
right. But then to not allow,
What happened?
oh, hold on,
Well, I,
There you
I
go.
lost.
am
I
I
lost
back?
you for a second.
Yeah, I don't know. My phone just went black screen. I don't know what happened, but I was just saying, and then to not allow a score. You know what I'm saying? Like to be so well rounded that you can score like that, but also not allow a single
Yeah,
point in the third round of the playoffs,
that's tough.
bro, bro. Like, ah, man, there ain't nothing else to say. That speaks for itself.
Oh yes, sir. It's only. I mean, like I said, like you pointed out, man, for them to perform like that in the third round. There are none of these teams. Man, you're playing. You're practicing on Thanksgiving. You're a good football team. There ain't no bad teams left. You know what I'm saying? So for you to
Right.
do that and it's 2 other schools. I mean, it's another school out west, uh, Weddington, that they're just ridiculous too, man. To do what they've been doing, and then you got Tarboro out here east putting up 70 and shutting someone out. I mean, you got some really good football teams out here, man. That's why I say this is why I love this time of year because you know there's no question marks left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All these teams are studs, man. So Just
It's down to the meat and potatoes now.
oh yeah, man. So like I said, when it comes down this Friday, man, we got so many great football games, and I'm not just talking about the teams that we cover, but just all over the state, man. And it's my eyes are gonna be everywhere, man. This is like a kid on Christmas, man. I love it. I was gonna try to pull up some stats from that game, man. Unfortunately, 71st doesn't have them up yet, so hopefully later on in the week we'll be able to kind of look at who. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it's the usual suspects for them, man, that were out there making plays. But uh, we'll point that out a little bit later on this week whenever they become available. All right. Our next game, and once again, man, shout out to everyone listening to us. Like I said, feel free to engage with us in the chat. Ask any questions, any comments, man. Shout out to school, parent, family members. Shout out to players. Appreciate all the love. Like the video. Hope share the video. Get some more people in here. Just a couple guys talking football, man. Our next game, the one Brandon was talking about, man, that 70 Jacksonville Cape Fear game, which was I mean, I was keeping up with the score. A really competitive game. I picked Jacksonville. I felt like it was a pretty evenly matched game. The thing that kind of put over the top for me was just that running back for Jacksonville, number 9. I won't say his name wrong, man. I think it's Damon June. Was going to Carolina. Just straight stud, man. He had a great game. Like I said, it really could have went either way. But like I said, I like Jacksonville. Jacksonville moves on. They're taking on a Havelock team that's going to be a good game. We'll talk about that a little bit this week, maybe. Those teams went. I mean, they were pretty much neck and neck in their regular season matchup. We just talked about hard to beat a good team twice. I think Havelock won that game 21-14 the first go around. So that's going to be one to watch out for. But I mean, K-Fair had a great season, man. Definitely awesome program. You spoke highly of the coaches over there. So, like I said, nothing to hang y'all heads about, man. Had a great season. Uh, Unfortunately, like I said, just the ball just didn't bounce your way, but also looked like a really, really competitive football game. Any other thoughts on Jacksonville and Cape Fear?
All I know is Jacksonville got a hard game next week.
Oh
That
yeah,
ain't
they said they
yeah,
play
they
they play Havelock, right?
yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah, good luck. But I mean, on that game, Cape Fear had a great season to begin with. I mean, that's one of them games where you could toss a coin up because they were both really good, and you just didn't know what to expect from either side of the ball. So, you know, I, when I picked that game, I was picking the team that was closest to Sampson County, pretty much. Um, so shout out to Cape Fear. I mean, 11-2 season is still a great season.
Oh yeah.
Um, but other than that, man, ain't nothing to hang your heads on, man. 11-2, shoot.
And one thing about it, man, them boys is gonna work. They coming back next year. I mean, Cape Fear is a deep school, man. It's a good school, good rooted school in athletics and especially football. I mean, they go through their times just like any of them big schools, man. You get a big
Hmm.
graduating class, it can set you back, things of that sort. But for the most part, man, like I said, I know a little bit about the coach over there. Being my nephew played under him and even went back and helped him out a little bit. Um, so I mean, nothing but respect for them, and I know they're gonna keep working, they're gonna keep fighting. And next year we're gonna be talking about them again. I already know it. So shout out to my boys. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm black and gold up here right now, baby. I'm with them leopards, but hey, I started all blue and gold. So we can't say nothing. That's right. And there's Morgan Chabot in the comments down there with Cope Pride. That's right. She's a Cape Fear alum too. That's the wife of our now principal of Lakewood High School, who was a former teacher at Cape Fear as well. So yeah, we got some blue and gold, love up here in Stephenson County for sure.
Oh yeah.
Before we go to that next game, Chris, I do want to speak a little bit about what Bradley said. I think you threw his comment up there. He says 7 double-digit seeds left in the playoffs going into the fourth round. That's huge. You know, you had posted that on the page of the teams that are going. I think there was one team that was like a 30 seed or whatever that had just took out like, yeah. I mean, so I want the reason I want to speak on that in a minute is I know there was a lot of people that were, why are these schools with losing records in the playoffs? Why are they even allowed? Why is this? Why is that? This is why. This is why. That list of 7 is why. And it's exactly what I told y'all. You don't know what kind of adversities these teams might have faced in the early seasons. And are finally, you know, you've heard Chris use the term of a team peaking at the right time. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are those circumstances. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could have been injuries, it could have been new coaching staff, and they just gotta figure everything out. They peaked at the right time. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to hear no more talk about schools with loser records being in the playoffs. Well, we got a 30 seed right now wiping up 4 and 5 seeds. Like, I mean, they don't get an easy road when they come into the playoffs. They're typically faced against some of the toughest competition, the lower the seed. Like, that's the way it's stacked. So the plan is for them just to be warm-up games for these high-seeded teams is how it ends up working out. And if they're stacking them up on the sideline and they're going on to the next week while that other team playing basketball, who are we to say who should be in the playoffs and who ain't? Because if that's your mentality and that's the way you're thinking, well, I hope we opening your eyes to another perspective. It's always a hard fight from the bottom. It's always harder to fight up. I mean, some of these teams are just fighting lateral. You know what I'm saying? They're fighting teams from underneath, and they're just fighting through, and they got an easy road. These teams with these low numbers, they ain't got no easy road. They got some of the toughest fights you could possibly fight right up front, and they're persevering. They're showing you that they do have what it takes.
I mean, you
So,
figure they would know this. You know what I mean? Like, I know this ain't football, but when Virginia got beat by UNBC in the first round,
right.
Duke's been beat in the first round. In the second week. UNC's been sent home in the second week before. You know what I mean? It's it's in any sport that you play. I mean, you cannot sleep on the lower seeds because 9 times out of 10, that's why the number one, number two, some of these big seeds are sitting at the house playing basketball. They're playing
Yeah.
basketball right now because of the fact that they slept on these lower seed teams.
Mm-hmm.
I
So
always I always say, man, we play the game for a reason. You know, if games were played on paper, because well, this number's higher than this number, so you move on. It wouldn't be no reason to, but
If games were played on paper, it looked like these fantasy football seasons everybody whining about.
hey, look.
hey, hey, I feel like some shots fired
but,
from this mug.
but
Hey, look.
but not for real though. Like two of the most used terms when you talk about sports, and especially like in the basketball, football, arena, you hear the terms used a lot. The underdog, or you know what I'm saying. What's the other one? So you hear underdog, or you gonna hear upset. You know what I'm saying? Like that comes from somebody lesser than the team that they played. Like, so people who love an underdog story, people didn't start loving underdog stories because the underdog never did anything. People started loving underdog stories because you have an underdog come through and wipe everybody's nose for them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people started loving underdog stories because of stuff like that. A team that had to fight their way to the top, a team that had to earn every step, and people loved that. And you hear upset. I love an upset unless it's happening to my team. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, an upset comes from a team that, you consider somebody to be a lesser qualified team, step in and take you out. I mean, those are two very common terms. So why the conversation even got started of why these losing record teams are allowed in the playoffs? I mean, that was silly talk to begin with. So we just hope we open some eyes on that.
Well, a lot of it was just kind of people just I don't know I still don't know to this day know why, but it was just some people just hating on Union. I don't know why.
Haters are gonna
That
hate, bro.
that
And
hateration.
I mean,
Oh yeah,
and you know, stay with your sport too, especially if you never played football. Don't worry about football. That's why we're up here talking about football.
Right.
I mean,
um, oh man, but real quick, man. Before we move on, man, I want to send a special shout out to a good friend of mine, man. Mr. Brent Gill, Clan High School, class '92, played for the Dark Horses. Ask everybody send him a prayer, some get well wishes, man. He suffered a stroke the other day. Luckily, he's in the
mm,
hospital. He's doing well now. But just want to he's been a long time supporter of the podcast. Guy I've been able to talk football with for years, man. Good friend of mine. So, Mr. Gill, man, if you listening, man, hope you're a speedy recovery, man, and hopefully I'll be talking to you soon, man.
prayers up, prayers to him and
Yes,
his
sir.
family, man.
Thoughts and prayers are with you, my friend.
Uh, pull up this next game, man. Once again, man, appreciate everyone listening in. Feel free to engage with us in the comments, man. Any questions, anything you guys want to talk about, any other games you kind of want us to touch on, any other subjects, man. Please feel free, man. We like to engage with y'all. That's why we do this. And also, please continue to support the page, like, share this video. Pull up this next game.
I do want to give a shout out, Coach
Oh, go
Oates
ahead, man.
over there at Union. His nephew coaches Hugh out there in the West. And they making noise over there in the West, man. I think they 11-1 right now. They getting ready to go up against they just beat Independence and somebody else. Oh, they play Grimsley Friday night.
Ooh, that's gonna be a good game.
Woo-wee.
It's gonna be a good game, man.
You ain't lying.
That's gonna be a good game. You want to talk about just pure talent all over the field, like in every position. That's gonna be yeah. I told you, man. This is like the best time of year, man. You get these juggernauts, colliding in late here in the playoffs. Man, it's nothing but good football, man. Nothing but good football.
So I'm about to say that's some gladiators going at it there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, but yeah, definitely shout out Coach O's, man. We miss him up here, man. Yeah, he hasn't been in the comment section lately, man. But he's a busy man, man. He's got girls basketball going on. He hopped over
Oh,
there straight from football. But we want to definitely give a shout out to Coach O's, man. Always a big supporter of the podcast, and
and
just a
all the
guy that's just a wealth of just sports knowledge and wisdom, man. So shout out to him.
and any football player at Union High School who is planning to try out or wanting to come to workouts, needing to come to workouts, starts tomorrow, 310 weight room. Let's get it, baby.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. Hey, yeah. They said the road to next season has already begun. So it's good to see the boys already getting ready to get to work, man. Love to see it.
Teams are built in the
Uh,
off season. Don't forget that.
oh yeah. Our next game we'll talk about, man. One y'all touched on briefly. Havelock in Scotland. Havelock defeated Scotland 57-21. I was following this game and it was kind of close early on, and I want to say it was like 28-21 at one point, and I mean, it seemed like they were kind of,
Hmm.
going tit for tat, and something happened. Like I said, I was locked in on the Lakewood North Duplin game, but I was trying to keep up with the other scores, and like I said, it was 28-21. I got focused, watching a couple drives of the Lakewood North Duplin game. Refreshed the page, look back, and it was, all of a sudden, Havelock was up like 40 something to 21 still. I'm like, well, what the world? um, but that just go to show, man, that Havelock team, that's a dangerous team, man. We talked about them before, in their matchups with teams like Wallace and stuff like that, man. Havelocks is just one of those teams that ton of tradition, ton of prestige, a ton of athletes. If you want to check out an entertaining athlete, man, check out Johnny Williams, their wide receiver, number 7. I think he's committed to East Carolina. Great football player. They got really good quarterback. Just athletes all over the field for them, man. And to do what they did to Scotland, they said Scotland's no slouch either. So for them to blow the game open like they did, that just shows the talent that Havelock has. And like I said, they're taking on Jacksonville this week. 2 teams they already played. That's going to be a great game. Like I said, Havelock won that first meeting, 21-14, and that's another one I'm definitely going to be locked in on Friday night, man. That should be a great football game. But any comments on Havelock in Scotland?
Well, after halftime, Havelock went in. They went in at halftime, and that defense, second half defense, they did not. They didn't give up 1 point after halftime. It was 21-27 going in at half. They come after halftime. Havelock scores. Scotland gets the ball, 4 and out. Havelock gets the ball. They score. So that's what happened in the second half of that game. That defense just hunkered down, strapped them bootstraps up, chin straps were strapped, and they was knocking heads in the second half. When you can go in at halftime and make adjustments like that, and then take a 2 touchdown lead in the third, that's called coaching. So
Oh yes, sir.
so being out coached and outplayed defensively in the second half, on making adjustments was the key to that game. So shout out to Havelock, still making a tear through the playoffs. They do got a game next week. Jacksonville is no slight, so but that's my take on the Havelock Rams.
Hey, real quick, man, we got the Magic Man. He's up here with us now. Magic Gomez, how you doing, brother?
What's going on, man? How y'all fellas doing on this Sunday?
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right.
We
Other
we
than
doing
other
pretty
than
good.
other than watching my wife put all this Christmas stuff up, and I ain't looking at nothing but totes and Madden.
Hey, look, bro, what you talking about, man? It looked like Buddy the Elf had a baby
No,
with my
no.
dude Griswold in here, man. My wife done
Okay,
went crazy with the dang
hold
Christmas
on.
decorations.
Oh, hold on a second. Hold on. Let me figure out how to flip this camera around. I'm gonna show you. Santa Claus done threw
Um,
all the way up in here. Hold on.
and you saw the setup on my desk, right? You didn't see the Santa Claus peeking from behind my laptop.
Yeah,
No,
yeah. I
because
see him. I see him.
It's all over. It's everywhere, man. I'm sitting in Santa's workshop right now.
Mm. But look, you see, y'all see this? This makes no sense, bro. This makes no sense.
Hey,
No.
you're gonna change your name to Christmas Magic.
Yeah, Christmas, yeah, the Christmas Magic Grinch.
That's what my decorations are. We got the Grinch up in here. I
Uh,
even, hey, I even got a Grinch. Hey, I got to show y'all my favorite one though. I'll show y'all my favorite one, and then I'm not gonna talk about this Grinch stuff no more. But this is my favorite one right here. Let's see if I let y'all see it. Oh, it ain't gonna let y'all see it because I got a background.
yeah, it's in the
Hold on a
background.
second. Let me see if I can. I still ain't going. Anyway, it's a Grinch hand, and it's holding a Christmas bulb, and the Christmas bulb says "Go away."
Go away.
That,
go away. That's how I
that's
feel.
yeah, right. That's my favorite one. That's my door hanger.
Uh,
Nice.
but Magic Man, we just been recapping these games for Friday night, man. Kind of just going over the results and stuff. Haven't gotten to the big ones yet, but
Oh,
I'm,
okay.
I'm looking at your caption. said you told us. You told y'all
I
young bucks.
told, I
If I
told him.
remember,
I told him.
if I remember correctly, man, didn't you pick North Duplin? Did you change
No,
your
no,
mind
no,
and
no,
pick
no.
North Duplin?
That was. See. We had an
Nah.
understanding. We know
Man,
what we picked. We know what we picked at the beginning. We know what we picked at the
the
beginning. That was just to understand. Nah, Brandon, don't even go there. Brandon made a point to me
Magic,
like this. You know what I told you?
Magic,
Who'd I
Magic,
pick? Who'd I pick? That boy over
Magic.
here
The
acting
film,
crazy. I said,
Magic.
okay.
Magic. The film don't lie, man.
Yeah,
We
the
got
The,
film don't lie.
receipts. We
the
Film
got
don't
film
lie.
don't
That's
lie.
hey, keep them receipts. That's fine. Hey, that's cool. That's cool. I won the rest of them, except for like them two.
See, even the chat even
Oh
said
man.
that.
Who?
The chat even said you said it.
Yeah, but the chat don't. Hey, the chat is not understanding why I said North Duplin, right?
Temporary insanity. He was upset. He
Yeah,
was
yeah,
upset
so,
with me. It
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
temporary insanity.
Sometimes you make decisions out of anger, but we already know what the first decision was. We already know what the first decision was.
Magic. Have you ever heard that? Have you ever heard that quote about making decisions in anger?
Yeah, I heard
And
it. I heard it.
choices made in anger cannot be undone. And what can be undone is you pick North Duplin. So you gotta hold that, man.
All right, I'm gonna hold it. I hold it. I hold it.
Yo,
See,
hey,
that's
shout
how.
out to Logan Dotson real quick. He said he at work watching on the low. We appreciate the dedication.
Yes,
Oh
sir.
man. Look, hey, we gotta turn the volume down, man. Man in the bathroom, watching the show, man. We don't get him in trouble, man. Hey,
Right.
appreciate you listening in, checking us out, Logan, man. We
That's
love
for
all the
sure.
support. Everyone, man, the chat, man. Shout out to school, shout out your players. If you're a parent, family member, um, any questions, comments? This is why we up here, man. Like, share the video. See, we can move on to our next game. I mean, my bad, B man. Did you have anything you want to say about Havelock in Scotland?
Nah, man. I said what I needed to say earlier about him. Like I said, I picked them being hopeful. No big surprise. Score was a little surprising, but I mean, other
Yeah.
than that, I mean, it is what it is.
But I mean, it's crazy though, because I think like Havelock's defense or offense or something like that. What is it like? They averaging like what 292 on the front, something like that. I know I was looking at it earlier in the season. They average weights like 292 or something. It's crazy.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Hey,
it's a
all
big
I
old
know
bag.
is they work fast, man. Cause I told it was before you got up here, but I was telling the guys I was locked in on the Lakewood North Duplin game,
Right?
trying to keep up with all the scores. And I refreshed the page. It was 28-21. I refreshed the page. All of a sudden, it's 40 something to 21. I'm like, well, what in the world?
Right.
Yeah, because I think they got like a defensive end is mean, bro. They say he's pretty good. Like he's getting looked at, I believe. I think he's an end or a tackle or something like that. He's pretty stout.
Man, they
Just
got they got they
guarantee.
got athletes all over the field, man.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
just guarantee though. Scotland ain't never down for long, and they
No.
definitely keep their receipts. That's
Oh, for
a
Yeah.
sure.
boy.
That's one of them
That's a
ones.
whew, that's a rough team to go against, man. I remember watching my nephew play against them before they went to state championships when he was at Cape Fear. I mean, that's a tough team to play. I mean, you talking about if y'all ain't never been there, man, they literally have a jumbotron at the end of the field, and while
Oh yeah, I
y'all out there,
seen that, man. That's
hey,
awesome.
hey, I'm gonna tell you how they do business. When you out there trying to warm up, they're playing their highlight reels from however many years. It don't even matter. They playing their highlight reels up there. They got
Mm.
speakers all the way around the field. It's loud. You out there trying to call plays and hike the ball, and they literally got dog barking, playing over the thing, and just announcing stuff in the middle of you trying to run play. Hey, bro, like, and then to add to it, super physical team.
Yeah, he done.
And they don't mind getting extra out there. You know what I mean? And hey, that's a tough ball team, man. As much as I don't like them, I have to respect them. So that's kind of why I picked them the other night because I've just always known them, bro. They'll fight tooth and nail. I mean, they'll fight tooth and nail. So that's why I said score was surprising. I knew Havelock had what it take to take them. I was just I, I just know that fight that them fighting Scots have. Um,
That
You
they,
you were
they'll be
wishing on. Hey, I'm gonna tell
they'll
you
be
what you
here
were
next
doing,
year.
Brandon. You were wishing on a star, and they want no stars out, pal.
Hey, they were just on the opposite side of the field.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that
Oh man.
that
But them
defense
was shooting stars.
that defense has three players that have over 6 interceptions apiece.
Mm.
Then
Mm-mm-mm.
then they got three defensive linemen who have 6 sacks, 10 sacks, and 14 sacks. So that
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 man talking
adjust
to you all night, all
that ad-
night.
that adjustment he made at halftime, whatever he said or whatever Space Jam water bottle he gave them worked.
That special sauce.
Mm.
Telling
Oh man.
Mm-mm-mm.
All right. Once again, man. Shout out to Chatham, man. I see. Shout out to James Kenan Tigers, man. We coming to that game.
Oh, we coming.
Definitely,
Oh, we coming.
definitely a lot to talk about there, but yeah, definitely shout out to James Keenan. Um, this next game we'll talk about Whiteville's 48-14 victory over Eastern Wayne. Man, but business as usual. Just another. I mean, tremendously hot team right now, playing some really good football. Um, I say you guys have talked about what Will Fisher's been doing. It's just that entire team right now is gelling. Once again, and there's another team that's peaking at the right time, playing with a lot of intensity, playing with a lot of passion, protecting home field, protecting Legion Stadium. Um, man, tough place to play a football game. Uh, Awesome fan base. They have that place rocking, man. And they said, man, just another team that's just seems like they're really on a mission, man.
Who's keeping the ball for
The
him?
score definitely didn't surprise me, man. Whiteville had a 28-6 lead at halftime, and they just handled business. So yeah, Whiteville versus Kinston this week. Yeah, that's gonna be one to check out. But any thoughts on White? I know I ain't saying it right, man, but the Whiteville Wolfpack.
Well, it's Wival, Wival,
Wow,
Wival.
wow.
My
Yeah,
wife said
I'm
it's
gonna get
white
it. I'm
Viola.
gonna get it right,
White
man.
hey,
Viola.
you gotta say it like Leggetti. Like
Yeah,
Leggetti would say, it's a wobble.
You, you
Bible.
kind of
Hey, went out there
you
a
gotta
wobble, man. Some boy play a golf ball game, bro. That thing right now, they just did that thing down there. You can't say nothing about it, bro. They just doing it. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
you gotta
hey,
be
boy, hit that touchdown
a
ride, dollar
Luigi
bill
when you
off
say
the
it.
field.
You gotta let your bottom lip kind of drop when you just be
that
kind of lazy with it.
oh Bubba Gump, Bible. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Um,
Where do you play
I
football at? Wow.
Wow.
Wobble.
I
Look,
really
my
don't like the
wife.
fact that they
Look,
don't post any stats for Wobble at all. But I can tell you
They keep it a secret.
that connection between Will Fisher and his quarterback is almost telepathically. Um, he finds him. I don't know how he finds him, but he finds him. Wobble also has a running game where a lot of people don't think they do, but they do. They have two
And
backs
he's
in the back.
serious. He's serious, bro.
Yes. They actually have two backs in the backfield that could carry that rock, 21 and 24. Um, I saw him at the trash game. Will Fisher did his thing, but 21 just controlled, he helped keep that team balanced. But I like I said before, I got Wildwood and one of the four finalists in the East to be there. And I know that this is my early prediction. That this week ain't gonna be no different. Because that wide receiver is probably gonna be shadowed by no other than our boy Will Fisher. Um, so I just don't see why. Well, I mean, they got it, man. The only loss came to James Kenan, third game of the season, and ever since then they just been putting it on whoever they get in front of. I mean, even Pender. So
Yeah. I I don't want to. I don't want to talk about him a whole lot because the inevitable is coming, and it's
oh
going to
yeah.
be tough.
Whoa,
Congratulations
boy.
on the win. Congratulations on the win. I mean, y'all just Wival, my bad. Y'all hell of a ball team, well coached, just plenty of athletes, man. I mean, no surprise on what y'all did Friday night. Hey, keep up the grind. Keep up the grind.
Let's go, Pack. Let's go, Pack. Huh? You got to be quicker than that if you're going to throw against Will Fisher. Hey, anytime, any day, any month. You know what I'm saying? And if he's getting the ball thrown to him, you better hope. You better hope he ain't in head tap city because it's coming.
So,
Hey,
I
look.
don't think I meant that the inevitable was coming like they're gonna lose or something. What I'm saying is the inevitable is coming like they're gonna face a
Oh,
team
oh yeah.
that we may pick. You know,
Yeah.
we all gonna be nervous. We all gonna be nervous for that one.
I'm nervous right now. I ain't
Yeah,
even playing.
right.
Nah, but Brandon mentioned something real quick, man. That's gonna be a heavyweight fight, man. Between Will Fisher, shadowing Tyreek Copper for Kinston. I mean, both of them just outstanding athletes. That's gonna be must see TV. But like they were saying in the comments, man, Brian Skipper was saying Whiteville's a really well coached team. Shout out to JP Price. Um, and just a well oiled machine, man. When you got coaching on your side, that gives you gives you a leg up. And I mean, we already know they got the athletes to boot, but when you got that coaching in that combination of coaching and just those special athletes, um, it's what we're seeing, man. Like I said, Eastern Wayne was not a bad football team. 48-14. I mean, just shut it down, you know.
Al Pacino
So
won't there that night with Willie Beeman.
let's see. I'm see pull up that some stats from that game, but I think they pretty much shut him down too. I mean,
Yeah.
just an all out team victory. Yeah, they don't have any stats posted from the game.
That's that
But
secret sauce for Waffle though. You know what I'm saying? That's that secret sauce for Waffle. They don't want to post no stats. They just want you to go in there like, man, these kids got about a yard. They get about a yard per play. And get out there and they get 30 or 35, 40.
hey, Austin Brinkley, if both of them win this week, that's what you'll get next week. He was saying
Hmm.
he'd like to see a rematch between Whiteville and Wyville and James. My wife over here laughing at me. My wife from New York, so here try try
Oh
to
yeah. Them
do this.
city, hey, them
This,
city
Oh,
folk, hey, them
hold
city
this,
folk
on.
different now.
Hold on.
Them city folk
this,
different.
You know them city that all them New Yorkers and they talking about calling you like they son and stuff. I know she not laughing at you, dog. Come on now.
yeah, she laughing over there.
Hey,
Hey, my
use
little niece,
guys better calm down.
you would think my
Use
little niece is from the city because she coming here. She coming here the other day. We was going to town, and she said, "Come on, I thought we was getting in the car." I was like, the what?
The cop.
I was
calling
like,
calling the trunk the boot.
mm.
Was it? Hey, there's a mouse in the house. Let it out.
Mm.
Hey, my grandfather from Utica, New York. So I mean, he was way upstate New York. My mom was raised in New York, so man, I could always tell when she was on the phone with a family member. I'd be like, "Who is Mary Poppins in my living room? Like, what is happening right now?" Like, yeah, boy,
Yeah,
but yeah,
yeah,
use
yeah.
guys better calm down.
Her accent ain't as strong as it used to be, but it comes out when she gets a little heated, or when she,
Uh
like you
oh.
said, when she on the phone with another person, a family member from up north. All of a sudden, it turns into the freaking Sopranos in here. So
Right.
Mhm.
yeah, y'all been married long enough that you can feel like
Oh
this the
yeah.
death stare at the back of
Oh
your
yeah.
head.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I got a sniper on me right now. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Get radiation poisoning.
Real quick. Once again, man, shout out to everyone in the chat, man. Please continue to like, share the video. Shout out to school. Shout out to player. Any questions, comments, man? Got some good info in the chat, man. Brian Skipper was talking about Coach J.P. Price. He learned it from his dad, Joey Price, long time Wallace Rose Hill coach. Once couple state championships at Wallace. He coached at South Columbus back in the day as well. And he learned that from Coach Holly. And you talk about Coach Jack Holly. Jack Holly, for my Wallace people up here, man, they already know, man. That's a legend, man. That's the wing T personified right there. So, like I said, like we already mentioned, man. Whiteville definitely has the coaching edge and on their side, man. But like I said, I feel like it's gonna be a great football game. Any more comments on Whiteville and Eastern Wayne?
Nah, just any Lakewood people in here real quick. Y'all go ahead and get your friends in here. Tell everybody to come on in because it ain't gonna be long. We're gonna be there. Y'all get them on in here. Drum them on up.
Oh, Alex Brunson is in here already.
Oh, for sure. Always count on my man right there. Always. It was his birthday at the game Friday night, man. So I had to give him some birthday love. And then we got in the car and my kids was like, we sung happy birthday to him. I was like, hey, that's what's up. Like, so yeah, hey, much love, man, and happy birthday again.
Oh, Bradley Gaines said he wants to speak on that one.
Happy belated birthday.
Happy birthday, big dog.
Next game, like I said, we just mentioned them. Kinston defeated Aiden Griffin 20-9. Looked like it was a little close early on. Looked like some points was hard to come by. But like Kinston turned it up, was able to come away with the victory. Aiden Griffin was the champion of a really tough Eastern Plains two-way conference. So for Kinston to go in there and come away with the victory just once again just shows the caliber of football that the Vikings have been playing right now, and they're letting it be known, man. Kinston ain't just a basketball school. They playing football right now, and they playing some good football. So definitely shout out to them. I talked about their outstanding wide receiver before. Mentioned their quarterback. Like I said, they're playing some really good football right now. A team that's they're going to stay true to themselves, man. They're going to air that thing out. Like I said, it's going to be interesting to see the contrasted styles come Friday night. But we'll talk more about that Wednesday. But any comments on Kinston's 20-9 victory over Aiden Griffin?
I had Kinston losing, and I'm sorry about that, but I thought Aiden Griffin had it, but Kinston obviously ain't ready to shoot layups yet. So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kinston.
What's scary is I wouldn't be surprised if there's so many athletes in that area, man. I wouldn't be surprised if ain't really too many basketball players on the football team. They just got athletes all around, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad to see them doing their thing on the football field, dude, man. That's pretty cool. I mean, like you said, they peaked at the right time. It's another one of them schools that we talk so much about, just putting it together all at the right time. They obviously ain't done yet, so we'll see what Friday holds. We'll get into that, like you said, on Wednesday.
That's it.
Well, they must have had a defensive touchdown because they only got one receiving and one rushing. This against Aiden Griffin, so they must have scored a touchdown.
Yeah, I got the stats up right now. Their quarterback, he went 13 for 29 for 167, one touchdown, 2 interceptions. So a little off that night. I'm actually surprised they don't normally run that much, man. Their running back Hart had almost 100 yards, 94 yards, one touchdown. The receiving numbers are actually down, man. But like I said, Copper, he only had two receptions for 42 yards. The lone receiver touchdown came from Moore. He had 3 receptions, 40 yards, and a touchdown. So Aiden Griffin actually did a pretty good job containing their passing attack.
They must have watched that Wallace tape. But I mean, like you said, Kinston. When I went and watched Kinston at Wallace, Wallace is a place you go to. It's very intimidating to play anyway. So I kind of figured some bugs, and they just couldn't get past that. But I mean, Kinston is a real gritty team. From what I've seen, they don't take no plays off. It don't matter. Um, Sometimes the other team's just better, but they I definitely wouldn't want to see a Kinston team in the playoffs right now because just of the heart and the grit that them kids have over there. So shout out to
Well, hey,
Kinston.
like you said, Brandon. Like you said, Brandon. I didn't mean to cut you off, but like you said, you know what I'm saying. You don't want to see a lot of these things when it comes playoff if you let them in the door. You know what I'm saying. If you let them back in the door, you don't want to see a lot of them the second time, and you don't want to see what they bring into your house. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because they hungry.
Oh yeah. Um, before
Yeah,
before we move on, man. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
Austin Brinkley said they had a pick six, so I guess that's where that other touchdown came from.
Okay.
Appreciate that, chat.
Thank you,
See,
thank you.
that's why we love the chat, man. Look, we can't watch all the games, man. We need some help sometime, man. We appreciate it. Uh, real quick before we move on, man. Any more thoughts, Kinston, Aiden Griffin? No. All right. This next one, man. Oh, here we go. And this was a thriller right here, man. Where my Duplin County folks at? James Kenan defeating Wallace Rose Hill 14-13 in overtime. Um, Once again, as big as this game was, I can't help was say I had it up on the screen. I was watching it, but I was so locked in on that Lakewood North Duplin game that I was kind of trying to go back and forth. I saw for the most part looked like James Keenan had control for the majority of the for the first half. Went in with a 7-0 lead at halftime. Wallace tied it up in the second half. Looked like they were going back and forth. Wallace had a chance right there at the end to win with a field goal in regulation, and something happened. And Brandon, you were really focused in. If you want to go ahead and elaborate on what happened, because like I said, I was missing it. I'm too busy watching the Lakewood and North Duplin game, and I keep on like glancing back over, and I'm like, man, they still ain't kicked the field goal yet. But if you want to go ahead, if you want to go ahead and talk about that.
So I got a good friend of mine. She's a referee. Um, I was hoping she was up here a little while ago, Denasia, but maybe she could break down that if she'd like to. But if anybody who knows football, Wallace was on like the 7 yard line. Okay, JK only had one timeout. Um, so JK was jumping off sides to purposely ice the kicker. That's a dead ball penalty. That means that field goal is no good. Once JK jumped off sides during the action of the kick, it's a dead ball penalty. That makes the kick no good. JK did that twice. It moved Wallace closer, but it was icing the kicker. Yes, he was getting practice reps in, but you know as good as well as I do, how many kickers have you seen warming up before games? They'll hit three or four in a row, and then they'll miss an easy one. Um, so on that third time, Wallace had a flag for I don't know if it was the formation or the offensive line wasn't their feet wasn't set up correctly or whatnot, but they got a 5 yard penalty. Then JK calls their final timeout, which really
I asked him for like the fourth time, correct?
correct. So this is the fourth time this kicker has lined up to get ready to kick and cannot kick the ball. Well, he kicked it on the two offsides, and then when they backed it up, That's when JK calls timeout. They come out after that. He lines up. It's wide left. He shakes it to the left. That is what happened. Nobody cheated Wallace on that. It is a dead ball penalty once JK jumped off sides both times. Um, they do it in the NFL all the time when they're out of timeouts and they're trying to ice the kicker when he's that close. They're gonna jump off sides. Um, Now overtime. JK took the ball. Big Zito, he takes it in. He scores. They come out. They kick their field goal. They don't go for two. They're gonna play it safe because they're first. Wallace comes out. Quarterback does his little roll. He gets in on his touchdown. Coach Mott, he said, "Why not? It's the playoffs. Let's go for two." Quarterback, same play, rolls out to the left. He gets stopped way behind the goal line. It's where your knee is down. People were thinking he was in because when he bounced off the ground, he went forward a little bit. He was down at least half a yard of the goal line. Um, Shout out to Wallace and their season because after that North Lenore upset, they went on a tear. They were playing some of the best ball we've seen on this side after that. Davis Nito had a big game. That defense, that JK defense, led by Hassan Takis, Ty Morsey, them guys right there, man, they had a big game holding that Wallace offense all night in the first half. Um, from what I seen, from where I watched the game, it was pretty much called a correct game. There was a couple calls like there was a holding call on Wallace. I didn't think was a holding call, but that's here, there, and there say. But that's just my opinion. And it was for a big. I think it was like for a 25, 30 yard play that could have changed a little bit of outcome of the game. But other than that, man, it was an old fashioned Wallace James Kenan battle. And for JK to go in there in the playoffs, already lost to Wallace, and in that streak of losing at the dog pound, that just shows you where these kids, all the work and grind of the kids and the coaches, and the togetherness of these kids all season long. Um, it's been a privilege to cover them because all them kids are just so well mannered. They're so respectful. Now, if you're at the games, you might hear different on the field. You know what I mean? Because they're playing football. But after the game, these kids come up and they talk to an adult, or anytime I've talked to them, it's yes sir, no sir. Same thing with Wallace. Shout out to Coach Mott, Big Urban Brown, Lamb, Carr, um, Big Jordan Scarlett. All them guys over there that I've been able to cover and walk their sidelines all season. Y'all had a great season, nothing to hang your heads on, man. Y'all played some great football this year. Um, but in my opinion, nobody was cheated. They just don't know. They don't know what the flags were called for. Coach Grady knew what he was doing. Jump offside. I don't think he intentionally jumped offsides because they were trying to block it, but they know if they would jump outside, that'd be a dead ball penalty, which iced the kicker twice, and then the timeout made it the third time. And Wallace shot himself in the foot backing up on that left hash. So, shout out to JK, man.
Oh yeah, hey, like I said, man, just looked like a just an outstanding football game. Uh, I saw the reaction, man, and man, I couldn't be happier for those kids from James Keenan, man. You saw him storm the field at the end, man. Just awesome. Got to be an awesome feeling, especially after what they say was over 10 years of you know not winning the game in the dog pound,
I think it
losing
was
that.
2000,
What's up?
I think it was 2014 or 15. Since it was one of them years.
So
Last time they
so right
won.
there, right there, almost a decade of not winning, and the way the season finale ended, so getting that revenge and getting that a chance to now move on to the playoffs. beating your bitter rival in that fashion, man. Outstanding. So, like I said, look, just sound like a great football game. One thing I want to ask y'all, man, and this is something that we dealt with at Clinton a couple years ago. The decision to for two, go for two. I know there used to be like everybody used to talk about this unwritten rule. Like when you're at home, you play, you just play it straight up, and when you're on the road, you roll the dice and go for two. Of course, Coach Mott, yeah, he's anything but unconventional, man. So he mixed up. I mean,
Yeah.
me, it's always like this because I know there are some people that were mad about it. Me, I'm always like this. Hindsight's hindsight's 2020. If the play works and it gets converted and Wallace wins, it's the greatest play ever. But the fact that it didn't work and he got stopped short. Oh, why did he do that? Blah blah blah. Just stand third. We dealt with it in Clinton a couple years ago, man. And I don't know if y'all remember. Any Clinton fans up here remember the East Duplin playoff game was a third round game a couple years ago. The year East Duplin won the state championship, actually. Clinton scored there in the final minutes. Had a chance to either kick the extra point, and go to overtime. We rolled the dice and went for two. Unfortunately, didn't work out, and there's just people online just destroying the coach. And I mean, like I said, I didn't personally agree with the play. I like going for two. I just didn't agree with the play call that was called. But it was right then and there when I was like, man, I got a newfound respect for coaches, man, because man, the the big the just the thinking that goes into that, knowing what you're either going to be the hero or the villain. If this doesn't work, and just yeah, see Austin's talking about it right there. Austin, I kind of agree with you. I but like I said, I always feel like if you're gonna go do something like that, you want to live and die with the ball in your best player's hands. So I like Coach Mott going for two, but do y'all feel some type of way that it wasn't Irvin Brown, you know, getting his number called for that? Because honestly, if like I said, in a situation like that, and I'm by no means, criticizing, Coach Mott, because Coach Mott knows more. He's forgotten more about football than I know. So in this lifetime, so it's no way I'm, trying to criticize him. But I always just been one of the ones that I feel like, man, if I'm gonna go for it in a situation like that, I'm putting the ball in my best player's hands. And if y'all stop it, y'all stop it. But you live and die with the ball in the best player's hands. So that's just my. How do y'all feel about the decision to go for two? And any Wallace fans in here that any thoughts? I just know that situation in Clinton a couple years ago, man. It was so much online after that game, man. But I mean, like I said, I told the coach, man, I was like, look, I'm just glad I'm not in your position to have to make that decision because it's like I said, man, if it works, it's the greatest play ever. But since
Look,
it
man,
didn't work,
it's like going to Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Like you might look up and come home with something. I mean, if you bet it all on one number, there's always a chance that you gonna come home empty handed. You know what I'm saying? So it's no different. I mean, he made a judgment call. He said he felt like we could do this. I kind of agree with the statement. Like, okay, we always want to put the ball in our best player's hand in a situation like that. But also, if you think about it from a coach's perspective, he's probably thinking they're going to expect me to hand him the ball.
they're expecting that. They're
So
expecting
yeah,
that.
yeah, no. So you just
I don't
fishing a
care.
little bit. You put him out there, make it seem like he might get the ball, put it off on somebody else, and hope to cause some misdirection there. I mean, so I get it. I'm not gonna say he made the wrong call. It ain't my team. I don't coach them. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't my place to say. What if I played it safe and went for the field goal? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's one of them things. It's in the moment. You're gonna decide right then. And hey, he felt like they were good enough. He trusted them boys to pull off too. He gave them the opportunity to do it. Unfortunately, just like any sport, there's another team out there on the field that has a job to do. And if everybody does their job, then I mean, can't be mad. I mean, defense has a job. Each one of them got a job. You know what I'm saying? Your offense got a job. If everybody does their job, it's just gonna fall where it's gonna fall. He didn't come out with a 2 point, with his 2 point conversion this year. Who says next year you don't line up, do the same thing, and y'all carry him on your shoulders? You know what I'm saying? Like,
But
so that man, that is that coach's place to make that call. He knows whether he could trust them boys to pull it off or not. And apparently he trusted them to do it. JK was there. So
it, BB, if I'm on the 5 yard line, I'm giving the ball to my ball carrier that has over 1,000 yards and averaging close to 6 yards a carry. I
But
don't
like
care.
you were saying, like
I don't
like you
care
were
if the
saying,
defense. I don't care.
but
I'm giving it to
it's
it, and
it's
we
it's
going.
it's, it's what we call the great game, man.
yeah,
It's you
So
like,
in other
okay,
words, in, in other words, while I heard all three of y'all talking, y'all trying to say my man just set up a whole Seahawks play and in the Pete Carroll formation and didn't hand the ball off
it
the
wasn't that
the
bad.
lead.
Now it wasn't that bad. That
Huh?
right there was that. It
That
wasn't
was
that
horrible.
bad, but
They
That was
that
still
right
horrible.
ran the
there, oh
ball.
my God,
They still ran the ball. They still
yeah,
ran the
yeah, I look
ball.
at it
It
like
was like
this.
a
We sit
quarterback
here and
boot.
it's saying that it it didn't work. So we can all sit here and say, oh, I would have gave it to him. But if he'd have gave it to him, everybody would sit here saying they know good and well JK was expecting him to get him the ball. They should have handed it to somebody else. It was a
that
no-win situation unless they pulled it off.
Right.
Right.
that's what I talked about when I said hindsight's 2020. If it works, it's the greatest play ever. If it doesn't, in the same situation with Clinton, because that's what I argue with people. I said, okay, if he did the same play with Amaris or Josiah and it got stopped, y'all would have been saying, you just ran that play. They knew that was coming. Why'd you run that? So I understand exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to get across. You know,
But I mean, at the end of the day, this is just my opinion. Like you said, Coach Mott's probably forgot more football than I know. Like you said. So
that's why
I'm
I
just
ain't
saying,
criticizing
no. Oh, by no means. I am not criticizing Coach Mott.
him.
I am just saying, in my
I just want,
opinion,
I just wanted to get what y'all, what y'all
yeah,
mindset, or
yeah.
what y'all thought about it. That's all.
No, hey,
I
at the end
mean,
of the day, you can't take nothing away from neither team. You had two heavyweights with the gloves on, and it was blow for blow, and that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of football you looking for in playoffs. You ain't looking for blowouts. If I want to go to playoffs, if I want to go watch playoff games, I want to watch games that's close. And what I pay my money for, and what I eat my popcorn for, and what I sit there and talk all this junk for, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going there to watch somebody get beat 52-0, 52-9, and you in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? I can bring a little league team out here for that.
Yeah, that's like that 71st game, man. They sent them kids home with a donut. You know what I'm saying? That game was fun until
No
about 40
coffee.
points. You know what I'm saying? Until about
right.
35, 40 points. That game was fun. After that, we were like, all right, well, we know where this is. We know what this is. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, you know what I'm saying? So keep them nail biters and ones that put you on the edge of your seat, get you, add a couple gray hairs to your beard. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, that's what we pay for.
Yeah,
I,
because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like you might not have a school that particularly you're looking at or what game you want to go to. You know what I'm saying? But when you got a lot of games slated on a schedule and they all good teams, you don't want to waste your money over here when the nail biter was over there. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? You go to a game, you like, man, I should have just went to that other game. You know what I'm saying? They out here serving donuts and I ain't even got no coffee out here. I just still got a cold Pepsi and some popcorn.
hey,
Huh?
Austin Brinkley, they Urban Brown still had 100 yards and a touchdown, and like I said, that one holding call there was no holding. That was for 30 yards, so he would have had 130 yards still and a touchdown. Friday night, he still had over 100 yards. He averaged right at 4.2 yards a carry. I mean, Urban Brown gonna get his regardless. I mean,
Right.
um, but he definitely wasn't held in check. Urban Brown was eating until you ain't but so much you could do when like and I know we sound like a broken record. It's hard to beat a great team twice in a season, and that's exactly what
It is.
happened Friday night on that particular field. Um, and I forgot to shout out a player a while ago when I was naming them JK players. Jeremiah Hall has grown so much this year that when I watched the kid against Wild, he had he lost two fumbles that game. But from that game on, that kid has been running that ball with purpose. That's not holding him in check. That's what he averages.
Hey,
What are you
wouldn't you
talking
want?
about?
Hey, wouldn't you want to hold on to the ball too? Because I'm saying I ain't trying to go back to hear the coach, but you go to practice the next day, the coach gonna give you something Ajax can't take off.
No, hold on. On this season, Urban Brown is averaging right at 100, yards a game. So if holding him in check is letting him get his 110 yards, oh my God. Whew.
Yeah. I'm just saying I ain't trying to be no running back losing the football for no coach because I ain't trying to go to practice and he
No,
giving me something that
I
Ajax
just
can't take off. That's for sure.
um I just wanted to shot that kid out, man. Ever since the Wobble game, he has just been on a different level. You
Right.
know, he plays he plays on defense too. Um, but JK is a lot like Lakewood to me because Coach Grady has moved around his players. You got the safety Cito that's got 7 interceptions on the season back there running the ball like he's a big running back. You
Yeah,
see what I'm saying?
I noticed he's been carrying the ball a lot more. I like
Tyquise,
that.
Ty, Tyquise has been running the ball here and there on sweeps and I mean he's still catching the ball. Um, this is my thing, and this is just a little idea I would have for JK on them goal line situations. I'm putting big number 4 in there. If the hits I see this man, because Hassan is a man on that football field. The way he puts people on their back, I would hate to see this dude coming at me with a football in his hand. You understand me?
Hey, the kid could really be a cheat code, like for real.
I swear to God,
Like,
that's like Derrick Henry Jr.
yeah, you could just tell, man. Like interviewing him and talking to him, bro. Like, hey, he's a little less talking, a lot more action. You feel me?
Oh,
Like
oh yeah,
he don't have a whole lot to say. He's like, I don't know what to say about it, but I can show you. Like, I mean that's his mentality. Put that ball in that kid's hand and watch what happens.
oh
Hey,
yeah.
freight train. I honestly believe that. I hadn't even thought about that, be until you said something. But yeah, that would be scary.
I
That would
mean,
be scary.
Coach Grady.
So so
If
you saying
it,
something like a Ron Dane. You saying something like a Ron Dane.
Doing the same way we like late in the season when we started last year when we gave the ball to Morris a lot. I mean, you got a kid that physical that could get those tough yardage and kids on the other side got to make business decisions. I'm like, do I really want to try to tackle this dude?
oh yeah, man, and Luis Hernandez, yeah, man, that offensive line for James Kenan Friday night, yes, yes,
Well,
way better than from the first game.
definitely got to show the big boys some love, man. Shout out to all the trench warriors out there.
Oh yeah, they getting their money right now. Somebody better start paying them in steaks.
And and there's
Hey,
one more
bro,
player I forgot.
don't don't say hold on, B. Don't say that too loud, Magic, because they got to feed them damn linemen at Lakewood some steak. Somebody going broke. The Booster
Well,
Club gonna have to get to
y'all
work.
better go ahead.
Hey,
Y'all better go ahead. Y'all better
hey,
go ahead and go get that meat bundle right there at Carly C, 69.95. Pick
Hey,
5, baby.
I'm gonna call up. I'm gonna call up Chris's Steakhouse see if I can't get something going with them.
Oh, now
Maybe.
you will be broke. Now you will be broke. You go off this
for
steakhouse.
real,
I'm gonna go ahead and
man.
tell you.
Hey, woo.
You might be
Go ahead, B.
surprised.
Sorry.
Oh
Oh, she
man,
said
but
James Keenan money line. Okay.
but real quick, man. Any other thoughts? James Keenan versus Wallace Rose Hill, man. Just once again, just another chapter in a really great rivalry. Two great football teams, two great programs, two great fan bases. I know one's a little bit more upset than the other one right now, but still, shout out to all the Wallace fans, man. Y'all, like I said, y'all are a big part of that team's success. how loud y'all keep the dog pound, how y'all keep it jumping in there. But any other thoughts on James Kenan versus Wallace?
Great season
Um,
this year. Great season this year, Wallace. Hey, way to go out there and give it your all, man. You know, but at the end of the day, you got one winner and one loser. You know what I'm saying?
hey, Dakota Henderson, keep playing like you playing on that defensive line.
Just a round of applause for them Lions, man, or for them Tigers, man. That's all I can say. I mean, I've been pulling for them Tigers this whole time. I ain't backing off.
Mhm. Me
Hey,
neither.
JK, stay hungry, baby. Keep fighting. Hey, we got you right here. We behind y'all boys. Y'all want to hop on, talk about something? Only thing y'all got to do is let us know. Tell your coach, whatever. Hey, we'll make time. We'll make it happen. We've done it before. We'll do it again. Y'all keep playing to win, man. That's all I can say. Great job.
Cool, cool. All right. If no one's got anything else, we'll move on. Hey, I missed the game before we get to our last game. Pender County. Pender County defeating Gates County 60-20. Just,
Next,
hey, look, man, it was just straight blowout, man. I saw the score in the second quarter, and I was like, yeah, we could go ahead and pencil them in for the next round, man. Just real quick, just pulling up some quick stats. That outstanding running back Jeremiah Johnson just continuing just doing this thing, man. He had 175 yards, 3 touchdowns. Several ball carries had touchdown. Like I said, they were just hitting on all cylinders, man. And no disrespect to Gates County, man, but I'm ready. I'm ready to speed past this and talk about that Pender Tarboro game this coming up week, man. That's going to be that's going to be 3 yards in a cloud of dust, ground and pound. I mean,
hey,
just two two
sir.
two teams that look, we gonna run the ball. You know we're gonna run the ball. Can you stop it? And that's the
Oh,
type of football game that you're about to see Friday night out there in Tarboro. That's gonna be a great football game. But
Wednesday, Chris.
we'll
Wednesday,
Hold
Chris.
hold
Um,
on.
yeah, we're gonna
Hey,
we gonna
look.
save it. We're gonna save it. We're gonna save it for Wednesday. I want to talk about it.
Hey,
There's,
boy,
there's
it's
a
so
lot of stuff
hard
I
not
want to
to.
talk about,
Hey,
but we're gonna save it for Wednesday. But I'm just
hey,
I'm
Chris,
just I'm laying the groundwork out for y'all, man. That
laying the
look,
foundation.
So hard not to talk about that game.
Hey, but
so
Chris, let me ask.
um,
it,
Let me ask.
it's
Hey, can I
hard.
ask you something? That Pender,
What's
that
up?
Pender game, that Pender game, was it at home or was it away? It was at home, correct?
This one last Friday was at home.
Yeah, Pender had it at home, correct?
Yes, sir.
So if I'm checking the activity bus for Gates County, if I'm the mechanic checking the activity bus for Gates County, I would have told them they all had run low. They got 4 flats. They can't make it out.
Look, look.
Windows
They, could-
windows
they
was but something. I
look.
don't,
No,
I don't,
no disrespect to Gates County, but they could have started them buses up after the first quarter.
they
hey,
shouldn't
It,
have started. Hey, they shouldn't have started them buses at all.
hey, and it's like I told you. Everybody thinks that Pender is just a Russian team. Shout out to Jordan Hansley and Zaquan Murphy.
Oh, they
They
catching that
both.
thing.
Oh yeah, Jordan Hensley had 2 receptions for 65 yards and a tutty, and Zaquan Murphy had a reception for a 32-yard tutty. So I mean that if you're wondering why Pender can run the ball successfully, it's because teams know that they can throw that thing too. So I just wanted to shout out them guys too because I know all we talk about is Johnson when we talk about Pender, but I mean the quarterback he was only 3 of 3 for 100 yards.
that's a perfect game.
That's a
That's
Hey
a
perfect
man,
perfect
game.
all,
You know
game.
all
what I
I'm
mean?
saying, all
That's a
I'm saying
perfect
is if you
game.
if you watch film on Pender, if you watching film on Pender before you play Pender, and you feel like you don't have no answer for either the pass or the run or the defense or the this or the that or the water boy on the sideline, don't start your bus. Cause I don't want to talk about no playoff game. It's 67-0, 60-0. You know, I don't want to see. I don't want to see none of that.
Well,
They were
look,
seventy first
Magic.
then.
Well, look, Magic. I don't think you'll have to worry about this Friday, man. I think it's gonna be a lot more competitive.
I hope
The
so.
game definitely ain't gonna be over in the first quarter.
Okay, I hope so.
Hey, hey, Chris, can we shout out
Yo,
Maria? Can we shout out Maria LaBelle? She's been tagging every James Keenan person, bringing them to the live.
yeah, I've been
Um,
I've been trying to, but by the time I'm about to pin a comment, she done. But yeah, shout her
hey,
out, man. She been killing it.
appreciate
Hey, and
that.
she in there with us. She like, Penny had their last 3 games at home. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, that's
Yeah, man.
because Pender.
They four seed.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
rolling.
but yeah, Pender does. She said Pender does play at Tarboro.
Yeah, they going to Tarboro.
Yes,
Uh-uh.
ma'am. Yes,
That's
ma'am.
tough. That's tough.
And we also got Tyqueese's mom in here, Katina.
Oh yeah, shout them out. Appreciate y'all engaging in the chat.
For
Lot of
sure.
activity in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all.
And Zenas Bailey's son plays on. I think he plays on
He's number
James
50.
Keenan.
Yeah, number
Yeah, number
50 for
50.
James Keenan. He was one of
Oh,
our. He was
Tyqueese
one
is
of
in
our
here.
number 10. Hey man, hey man, hey that dude with the ball in his hands. Like I see why he wear number 10, man. He's like a Tyreek Hill, man. The speed, the speed, and then the ball skills as a defensive back. That we go back to that game against Whiteville or Wyville. Him
Oh,
and Real Fisher going
Watch
there,
this.
man.
Right there.
He was out there just, I mean, making some outstanding plays, man.
hey, Chris,
Outstanding. What's up?
you know somebody else that used to wear number 10 that you played football with a long time ago?
Who that?
Who was it? We talk about him all the time in the chat. He had to wear number 10, whether it was baseball, any sport at Clinton. Number 10 was gonna be his number because he was a Chipper Jones fan. And that's who. You said one of the hardest dudes you knew he could play anything. We took y'all to state. Matthew Carter.
You talking about Matthew? Hey,
Yes,
yo,
sir.
Matthew Carter was, I mean, he was an absolute beast, man. I mean, in any sport with a ball, like it didn't matter, man. Like that joke was, man. That joke, I remember he played quarterback for us in middle school. I mean, dude was just a cheat code, man. One and only. I mean, we got to high school freshman straight to varsity, already starting in Coach Saw's, defensive backfield. So yeah, Matthew was a beast. Then he said, man, maybe his best sport might have been baseball. I want to say, man, but
Yeah, that's for sure.
that joke was. I mean, that joke was a beast, man. Man, but once again, man, appreciate y'all engaging with us in the chat, man. We come to our last game of the evening. Yeah, a game I was heavily invested in. Lakewood defeating North Duplin 26-20. We talked about it the week prior. They said we've said it multiple times tonight how hard it is to beat a good team twice in one season. We talked about, you know, Lakewood peaking at the right time. We talked about Lakewood getting healthy at the right time. We talked about them kids just, just having a look and feel about them. And like I said, it wasn't easy despite some of the extracurricular activity going on the side and from some unhinged adults. You know, I was picking Lakewood regardless because I just felt like I talked about all year, man. That team gets healthy. That team's playing good ball. That team has the athletes. They have the coaching. It just it didn't surprise the results that happened Friday night didn't surprise me. I know some people pick, ill people, North Duplin, and I respect that. You know, they were undefeated, they were conference champs, they did beat Lakewood the first go around. But I mean, we talked about it up here, man. So for The result was, I mean, the game couldn't win no better, man. I talked about it. I covered this game for the Duplin Times, so I was really locked in on it. And I pointed out three 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 different spots where North Duplin lost this football game. First one, opening drive, the turnover on the opening drive going into the end zone. You know, that's 6 points you left on the field right there. You look at the final score, lost by six. There's another point in the game where they forced a three and out. I think it's in the second quarter. They forced a three and out. Uh, Lakewood's punter mishandled the snap, got tackled. North Cumberland's offense take over and great field position. They're already in the red zone. They got a holding penalty, set them back. Ended up having a turnover on downs. That's number two. I mean, because right there they were up at that point in time, 14-6. You go down the score, you're up 21. You know, possibly 21-6. You know, you're starting to pull away a little bit, but another missed opportunity. The third came for me late in the game. They had the ball in plus territory, had it 4th and 1, and they got a procedure penalty. Ended up being like a 4th and 5, 4th and 6. Lakewood was able to Lakewood was able to hold them, force another turnover on downs. That's another opportunity where they could have scored. So there's three opportunities right there where they could have scored touchdowns and left points on the field. So if I'm a North Duplin fan or a coach or on the coaching staff and I'm looking at reviewing film, I'm looking back at those points in the game and just wondering, damn, what could have been. But just outstanding effort by Lakewood, man. I thought the first drop,
Down
the
your
second
nose,
drive, the
Elwood.
second drive in the third quarter, where where they just lined up and was just running it, right at them, and then man, the freshman to freshman connection. When Reed hit number
My man
20,
on the
number
slant,
20 on the
on the slant
slant,
route.
man, huge play. And I understand Lakewood's still playing, so you don't want to look too far into the future. But as a fan, how excited are you? You got a freshman quarterback connecting with a freshman wide receiver on in the biggest playoff game of the year, knowing you get that for another 3 years. Like that's just awesome. But I mean, I can't say how happy I am for those kids, man.
Uh-oh.
Um, they definitely deserved it. Um, yeah, I mean, like I said, I was happy, man. I was so locked in on that game. I was heavily invested. Shout out to Brandon, man. We talked about we go back to the spring, man. We talked about what Lakewood had coming back. We talked about when Coach Holt got hired, looking at his pedigree and his resume and what he could potentially do with this team. It's not surprising me to see this team in the fourth round and with potential to keep it going, man. Just I can't say enough good things about the football team. But I spoke enough, man. I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and hop in there.
Brandon last.
North Duplin, Lakewood.
Uh, First off, I want to give a shout out to Coach Holt and everything they've endured this season. I've been saying this for the past 3 weeks. Lakewood's been plugging and playing. They're moving guys to different positions, and I said that it's going to make them a dangerous team because now you got positionless football. You got guys out there playing multiple positions, and they're good at the position. Um, so shout out to Coach Holt and the whole coaching staff for keeping them boys ready, next man up mentality. Um, and now they're healthy, which is even more dangerous. And them being from the backside of Sampson County, that grit and grind of Sampson County football. So shout out to Coach Holt and his whole coaching staff and them young men that just continue to work hard and persevere through everything that they've gone through. Everybody goes through things in life outside of football, deaths in the family, sickness and stuff like that. So
Injury.
everything injuries. So everything that football team has gone through. Hey, hats off to you. Now, not to overshadow North Duplin and their great season that they had. Um, North Duplin has nothing to hold their head on. Um, they were unbeaten until Friday night, right?
Yeah,
And a big part of that comes from number 21, Carell. It's Carell Phillips, correct? That's how you say his
Yeah,
name.
for real.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. You good, man.
Okay. Um, Miss Cinda Morsi, Washington, your nephew did not get held down. He had 211 yards for
Three
three
touchdowns.
tutties, three touchdowns. He had a great night, regardless of the loss. So shout out to that young man and what he stands for, and the great family that he comes from. Regardless of what we say every week, you know, you know we're talking football, and we appreciate your you being up here every Sunday and Wednesday showing us love. Um,
And
Shout out.
she's well, I don't mean to interrupt you real quick, man, but she's been a great fan. You know, great support of the show, and that's the way you want. I try not to stereotype entire fan bases. So, but she's one of the good ones out there. So shout out to her. But oh, my bad, man. Go, keep on going.
Also, I had a chance to speak to Miss Kelly, which is the quarterback's mom, Luke Kelly. Shout out to her son. He's got a full ride to ECU for academics. Um, so
Yes,
I
sir.
did what that's a great medical school, and I think he's going to school for something medical as well. And shout out to the seniors over there. But North Duplin, you got two junior running backs on coming back. Um, and they both combined for 270 yards Friday night on the ground. So I mean, y'all got a lot coming back, and y'all got a lot to look forward to. But um, like Chris said, and we've been saying it for a long time now. When you meet a really good team 2 times a year, it's either gonna be some overtime or you taking an L. So I that's why I picked Lakewood. I know what Lakewood has being close to Brandon. I know everything that they've gone through this year off of the field, just like y'all. I've been explained to in depth in my inbox about what these kids have gone through off the field as well. Prayers and thoughts go out to them families and players and that community and them communities. I'm trying to be really nice about stuff here, because when my character was getting thrashed and drugged through the mud, I'm still up here shouting your players out every week. Um,
How about that?
um, but I will say this: I look forward to seeing y'all play next year to see if y'all can run it back like y'all did this year. And I'm not overshadowing Lakewood's win right now. I want North Duplin fan base to know who I am. I'm not the guy that's going to intentionally come up here and talk junk about anybody's kid. I'm not going to do that. But when stuff is going on and I point out that player, we have the receipts to show you. We can post it on our website. That way the world can see what's on the field and what's being done on the field. Um, and someone pointed out a Lakewood player doing something, but like I said, I didn't watch the Lakewood North Duplin game. Like I was tuning in for Wallace and James Kenan for Chris. Because he was locked in for Duplin Times on the other game. So I really can't see certain things, but I'm sure, I promise you, they got receipts. I'm sure Chris has got the whole whatever he needed on video or whatnot, screen record. But for the fan bases out there, to all the schools we cover, this is this school fan base is the only fan base outside of a couple people that have been in our inboxes, and just trying to validate, you know, after, late hits and stuff like that. And, for me, you can say what you want about me, because the people that I know my character and know who I come from and what I'm about. So whatever you try to say or whoever you're gonna try to call, like, threatening me because I'm a coach, or you gonna call my school and tell them what I said, I do. I don't care, because anything I said has not been um has not been derogatory. And this is one thing that a coach that I know has told me from the very first time I met him: walk in your truth and don't be sorry for what you believe. And I'm not.
So basically, what he's saying is he's holding every player accountable to the same standards that he will hold his own team accountable to. So he has no reason to hang his head to be ashamed of that. Number two, these videos are not deleted after we record; they're still up.
Exactly. So I mean, I'm not worried about anything. I do want to say thanks to all the schools that has had me this year, and I cannot do that next year for I'm coaching now at a high school, so I will not be able to walk a sideline no more at anybody's games. But um, I will say thank you, and I appreciate all the hospitality, and I look forward to being on the podcast. Of course, on Sundays and Wednesdays. Um, but Lakewood, outstanding job, Coach Holt. Everything y'all have endured this year, injuries and off the field stuff. Um, and that's him getting there late, guys. From, y'all talk about what your team has gone through all year. Lakewood has really gone through a lot as well. Their coach didn't get there till what? How many weeks before the season started? BB.
I mean, we started summer workouts a few weeks late, and on top of that, he was trying to get helmets ordered and everything else because for some reason some of our helmets, or not for some reason, some of our helmets were outdated. We had ordered helmets, but we hadn't fielded a JV team in several years, so we had enough kids for a JV and a varsity. We didn't have enough helmets, so he had a platter full when he got here to try to figure out getting equipment and everything for them guys. So I mean, yeah, he was definitely probably got more than what he bargained for when he first came in the door. But hey, he's an awesome man, and he made it happen. So hey, shout
Um,
out.
like I said, once again, before I'm done with my little rant, North Duplin, great season. Great coaches. They have a legend over there on that sideline as well. I'm not going to downplay their coach at all. That man's been around a long time and he knows football. Um, like I said, I look forward to seeing Karel Phillip and Vance Carter run that ball next year in that backfield. And don't hang your heads, fellas. Just it's time to put the work in. Lakewood, I'm still rooting for you all the way. Sampson County strong, baby.
Appreciate you, B.
Hey, what can I say? What can I say? If you don't know, now you know. Elwood in the building. Um,
Bet, 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 bet.
Yeah, I told you, boy, I had to put them backpacks on. Hey, you better. Hey, I'm telling you. But shout out to Lakewood. But like Brandon said, taking nothing away from North Duplin. They work hard all year long, just like Lakewood has. You know what I'm saying? You just got, them leopards that just had a little bit more grit and grind in their character. You know what I'm saying? And when you come out gritting and grinding, hey, you gonna flourish. You get what I'm saying? But that was a great game, and I'm glad I didn't get no messages through my inbox talking about referees, anything like that. I'm glad the referees held strong this weekend. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad they made calls that's supposed to be made on both sides of the ball. Sometimes them chain gangs worry me a little bit. They still want to be out there like it's the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, you know what I'm saying? Great football. You know what I'm saying? All the way around North Duplin, you ain't got nothing to hang your head on. You know what I'm saying? Still do your thing. And I'm pretty sure y'all be right back. Y'all be right back in the lab, pen and pad, figuring out things and knowing what positions you got to work on and where you need work at. But the Lakewood, hey, continue to do your thing. You showed that fight. You showed that fight Friday night, and that's exactly what a Sampson County wanted to see from any Sampson County team. You know what I'm saying? You went down there to Duplin County and you proved your point down there for Sampson County. So keep it up. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let Brandon go ahead and take off. I know he ready, boy. That mouth over there, hey, he drooling at that thing.
Nah, man, I'm chilling. I'm just, the only thing I was missing Friday night is this hot chocolate I'm sipping on right now. I'm relaxed. I'm
Oh,
cool.
okay.
I'm gonna tell you, man, it was a fun game. It really was. There was lots of interesting things that, I don't believe in adding insult to injury, so I'm not gonna do it. I will say, I'm gonna start with North Duplin because it might take me a minute to get through my leopards. I'm gonna start with North Duplin. Hey, shout out number 99. Hey, big fella. I dapped you up after the game. If your people see this or you see this, that was me. I dapped you up after the game. Let you know, hey, hell of a season, good job. Hey, we seen that kid line up at tight end and even some at
That's
center
scary.
during that game. So that's pretty. Yeah, it is. Hey, man, walked through and blocked our field goal. Didn't even jump. Didn't no tiptoe, no nothing. Just walked through, held his hands up, blocked field goal. I said, God Almighty, boy. Somebody missed their assignment on that one. But hey, but hey, it happens. Hey, he's a big dude, man. Can't take nothing from him. I know he's getting a lot of looks, got a lot of offers. I'm just gonna tell you, man, hey, everything you've been doing, double down on it. Double down on it. You know what I'm saying? Get ready.
He's a junior.
You got the looks and the offers that we're hearing that you got. Right.
He ain't know but
Yeah.
a junior.
I don't like that, but yeah.
Whew.
Right. But man, hey, work harder than you've ever worked right now. You know what I'm saying? Start now. If you didn't already start in the morning. But work harder than you've ever worked, man. Get prepared. If you've committed to where we've heard you've committed, and that's Texas A&M. Hey man, you walking in. If that's where you stay to go, if that's where you still go at the end of everything, hey, you walking into the world of
Gators.
football. I want you to be prepared for that. Yeah, I want you to be prepared for that. So stay working hard, stay grinding, keep doing what you're doing. I kind of like seeing you move around that field a little bit, playing different spots, showing some versatility. So good stuff, big fella. I'm proud of you. Keep working hard. Remember, I spoke, good about you when we see you next year. And 21, hey, career.
Do something for
Brandon
me.
already said it all, so like, hey, look, Brandon already said it all. He didn't leave me nothing to
Oh,
say.
my bad.
So career, look, here's your flowers. Round of applause. You've been an outstanding athlete all season. Even before, we got to see you as Lakewood. Lakewood showed up. I mean, Lakewood's got an outstanding defense, man, and you were still able to perform. That speaks volumes of you and your blockers, your linemen. So shout out to you, man. I don't know what kind of looks you might got or what you might have on tap for the future, but I'm gonna tell you the same thing. Continue to grind, continue to work
Over with
hard.
me.
Remember, I spoke highly of you when we see you next year as well. Um, no, but hey, I saw a couple of them guys coming off the field, man. I stuck around for a bit, even against my better judgment. I stuck around for a bit after the game, and some of them guys was coming off the field, man, and of course emotions were running high. I spoke to several of them boys, told them get their heads up. They've had an amazing season, nothing to hold their head down about. One of them chatted back with me a little bit and was, let me know he appreciated that. And we was actually walking out. He was kind of walking beside us, and he was like, "I just hate it." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Well," I said, "there's one thing about being Goliath." I said, "Every Goliath meets his David eventually." You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just happened. It just happened to be tonight. Still, like I said, nothing to hold your heads down about. I just encourage y'all all to stay in it, work hard, and play football. Hey, there ain't nothing like a good game of football, man. I look forward to more of them in the future. Y'all all stay blessed. The ones of y'all that's been through things, um, you know, on the field, off the field, wherever it is, man. Uh, Love and respect to you guys, just like any of these players around here. Honestly, standing outside, man, seeing that one kid come out. I ain't gonna call his number or nothing, but seeing that one kid come out, man, his head was down and tears were just pouring. And instinct kind of took over. I talked to him the same way I talked to my boys. You know what I'm saying? I turned around, was like, "Nah, man, get your head up." You know what I'm saying? And then I realized, like, oh man, he ain't one of mine. But it's just that same thing that I would do if that was one of our guys. You know what I'm saying? Treat him no different. Turn around, nah, man, get that head up. He picks his head up and looks at me, and I'm like, we ain't doing that. Don't do that. Y'all have had a hell of a season. Be proud of that. Keep your head up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it might be over tonight, but that don't matter. Look what you've done. Look what it took to get here. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to be proud of. Yes, emotions are high, but we're not gonna hang our head. We could shed a few tears. You know what I'm saying? But we don't need to hang our heads. You guys got nothing to hang your heads about. Just like my leopards, which it ain't gonna happen. But if we was to get took out next week, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling them fellas the same thing. They have fought tooth and nail and worked their butts off this whole season. Ain't nothing to hold our heads about. If we went out there and gave everything we had on that football field, should nobody be holding their head down. And I believe the same thing about you guys. You guys are left it on the football field, and I believe that every time y'all went out there, y'all left it on the field. So keep y'all heads up, keep doing your thing. I want to shout out our Reed Ammons, our freshman quarterback. We'll start with him. Played both sides of the ball, a little free safety, outside linebacker, and QB as a freshman. And a game of that caliber, again, just hey, he QB1. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's QB1. Kid connected really well. Like y'all were talking that freshman connection. Man, him and Josiah Brunson, number one. Man, they connected Friday night like we hadn't seen before. I mean, two nice bombs right in the hands of that young man. One of them went right in for a touchdown. I don't believe the other one did. Win it, both of them. Yeah. Right. So yeah, one passing touchdown to Zay, one passing touchdown to Josiah. 33 over here letting me know, you know what I'm saying? He's like, hold on, Pops. Like, here we go. But so yeah, so man, I mean, shout out to them guys. Our line, like big shout out to our line. Cam, Trey, I mean, always performing. I mean, DJ out there doing his thing. I mean, the boys showed up. They played ball. Had Connor down there. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we had minimal errors. A couple little offsides, little issues there, but we had minimal errors, which is what we talked about. We got to go out there and play some error-free football. You know what I'm saying? Them guys kept it to a minimum. We did get a couple of personal fouls on us, which, I hate it, and I'm glad to know that it won't no serious stuff. It was, dog pile, and my hands was on somebody while I was getting up, got called for unsportsmanlike or whatever. The other one, I'm not sure what it was. I didn't see anything. I talked to some of the players that were on the field. They're not quite sure what the other unsportsmanlike was called for, but we got called for 2 in one drive. We gave them 30 yards right then. I don't know if it was a little pushing match or what might have happened, but regardless, we got the call, and we had to work through it. That's something that I try to talk to some of these players about. Some of these players hang out around me and around the house, outside of football. We talk about the same things, man, and it's just that mental toughness, man. That mind's gonna control the body. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be smart when you out there and you in a situation and something's out of character or something goes off the rails. Like, we can't react like that. We gotta be smart. Devin Jones in the comments with them with their smiley faces. That's what I was talking about. That's DJ right there. He be out there doing his thing, man. Kid stepped up big time. So glad he's back next year. So glad. Shout out, big dog. But I tell these guys all the time, man. Like, you're playing football. You got to think about the win first. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can act stupid. Anybody can be a goofball. Anybody can be a troublemaker. Anybody can get something going out there. But what's the point? You know what I'm saying? How you feel being in a situation? Just say you're down in a football game, or even if it's an even game, or you're barely up, whatever the situation. You act stupid out there and get 15 real quick. You know what I'm saying? You get 15 real quick. Go ahead and get you 2 of them. Where you gonna be? On the bench? What good are you to your team? You know what I'm saying? While you out there goofing off, getting these silly penalties or whatever, the clock's still running. They ain't stopped the clock because you a dummy. They didn't stop the clock because you wanted to show somebody that you already out there playing football. What else you need to prove? You already out there handing it out and getting it handed to you. What else you need to prove? You're playing football already. You know what I'm saying? Let's line it up and let our skills talk. We ain't got to do all the extra mess. And that goes for everybody. Listen, it's a high emotion sport. And when we in the playoffs, you know, even more so. But there ain't no sense in doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, let somebody goof off. You know what I'm saying? Be funny about it. Hey, turn around, let somebody get crazy. Just, hey, hop away. Get away from it. If they still coming at you, whatever. Yo, ref. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it is what it is. Guess what? Ain't none of your teammates gonna go back and talk about how you a punk because you got away from somebody in the game. Because now you might be in a situation where instead of you getting that 15-yard, they just got a 15-yarder. You helped your ball team. And that's one thing you boys got to realize. Y'all ain't got nothing to prove. Everything you need to prove is going up on that scoreboard. That's the only thing y'all out there to prove on a Friday night. We're going to put it on that scoreboard. Anything else, you hurt your team. Please don't do that, fellas. Please don't do that. I mean, I hate to know I could have won a game and because a 15-yard penalty cost my whole team because I was too cool to walk away from something. Because I had to get an extra shot or whatever. That goes for everybody out there, man. Don't play those games. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Makes your coach look, your coach looks, down on you because of it. You know what I'm saying? Your players are gonna let down on you because of it. Just don't do it. Play smart ball. Stay out them heads. Don't get upset. And if you do, you know what I'm saying, find a way away from the situation. Even if you gotta ask coach to pull you out for a play or two. Come out for a play or two versus costing your team. I mean, whatever you got to do. But, all in all, super proud of all my guys. I mean, phenomenal job. Y'all showed up, did exactly what we talked about. Y'all played as a team. Y'all stood behind, and in front of each other. And y'all played leopard football. What y'all needed to prove ultimately showed up on the scoreboard at the end of the night. And that's what I'm trying to tell y'all boys. That's all we got to do the rest of this season. Y'all show up, play heads up, smart, error-free football. And I'm telling you, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. I love y'all boys. I'm proud of y'all. Shout out to the coaches. I was so happy to see our teams be able to come together at the end of the game and pray together in the middle of the field. Everybody shake hands and walk away, with some real sportsmanship. So shout out to both sides for that. And until next season.
Cool. Hey, look, man. I mean, what else is there left to be said? Now, look, I hope everyone actually, was listening to what these guys were saying, and that exactly is the reason why, I take it so personally when people, come up here and attack these guys' integrity or their character or what we try to do here on this podcast. That's why I take it so personally. If you were listening, like I said, you see these guys are guys that, like I said, not only great football minds and sports minds, but just great men of character. And at the end of the day, we're all about uplifting not only all these different programs and kids and stuff. We're not just focused on the schools that we support, but others as well. So that's why I take it so personally. So hopefully, some eyes were open, you know, and we won't have those type of issues anymore. But I mean, we already know it's certain people you can't please, so they're always gonna find something to complain about. But that right there, listening to Brandon talk and listen to all these guys talk, that's why I take it so personally. It's like, but just know that these guys are some of the like I said, these guys are doing some great work with these kids out here, and some great role models for uh, the youth in Sampson, Duplin, and all these surrounding areas to look up to, man. So once again, man, appreciate y'all for your insights on these games
Hey,
this evening, man. Great stuff. Shout out to
Chris, can I speak on two more kids if you don't mind?
oh yeah. Go ahead, man.
I was saving them the last and I got on a tangent and I forgot. So I want to shout out Calvin Lacewell and Nakai Owens. Um, they were very, very key for us and being able to put things together on that field on the offensive side. They're both very strong runners. Um, they're both, kind of combo. They got that power. They also got a little elusiveness to them. Man, I think those two guys performed outstandingly. Really, really, you know, punching that ball through that line and going heads on with them guys. They were really able to soften them up for those bigger plays. Um, and I couldn't go tonight without mentioning them two because I mean they're just two dudes that just love football and work hard and they'll put themselves on the line and give it everything they got every time. So it's nice to have CJ back finally, healthy and ready to run, ready to play. And they showed up and did just that. And like I said, I was trying to say that the last I got on a little rant about us playing smart ball and I forgot to mention them. But thank you for letting me go back and catch them because those two guys right there, man, one of them we're losing this year. He is senior, and I hate that. So Nakai won't be with us, but CJ's only in the 10th grade, so 2 more years of that bowling ball.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Hey, I got one.
He ain't doing
I
nothing but
got one thing
grow.
to say, Chris. I got one thing to say. It's a
Yeah.
piggybacking off of Brandon just a little bit. I'm gonna make it real short, but um, like Brandon was saying, that unsportsmanlike conduct, from players and stuff like that, man. Just ask your coach for a way out sometime. You know what I'm saying? Just take them few seconds, because you think about it. All these schools that we talk about, whether it's through Sampson County or Duplin County, they run through all these counties, and there's rec in all these counties, and every kid grows up either wanting to be a basketball player, a football player, or a baseball player. And a lot of kids might think that they don't have a lot of eyes on them from little kids when they go to these games. Yeah, because these kids are just running around out here playing and this and that at the football games or behind the bleachers playing that football game. But all at the same time, they're really watching you guys. You know what I'm saying? So you want to be out there on your best behavior on that field. You know what I'm saying? And you got to think you got scouts and you got other people that's watching you too. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't want nobody on my team that's going to cause trouble all the time. You get what I'm saying? So at the same time, you got a lot of kids looking up to you when you're out here playing these sports. You get what I'm saying? And you think about it, over there at North Duplin, you got a kid committed to Texas A&M. You know what I'm saying? And they see number 99 on the field and they see him do something he ain't supposed to do or him act out of character because somebody got him out of character. But now, you know what I'm saying? You had that little kid all the time being like, yo, pops, yo, moms, I'm trying to be like number 99 on North Duplin. I'm trying to make it that far. But then he sees you act out of character, and now guess what? You lose a fan in your fan base, So you just got to think about stuff that you're doing, you know what I'm saying? So hey, all in all, everybody deserves their flowers, whether you made it to the playoffs this season or you didn't. You know what I'm saying? Every player out there left it all on the field, but you don't want one mistake. You know what I'm saying? If, like Brandon said, if you out there on the field and you're playing and you're playing, that's all you got to prove, that you're playing. You're a starter. You don't want to make room for Ed, and Eddie. You don't want the second stream out there taking your spot. So think about it. You know what I'm saying? Just be better. Do better. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody take you out of character.
Oh yes, sir.
That's
Yes,
right.
sir. Hey, Magic man, Magic. I completely agree with you 100%. like I said, these kids may not know, man, but you are, those young kids are looking at you, man. I can speak for myself and probably anybody that grew up in Clinton in the '90s, man. Like we, when we went to when we were playing rec football, we weren't thinking about, man, I can't wait to be a Tar Heel or I can't wait to be a Blue Devil or a Wolfpack, man. It was back in the day. I couldn't wait to be a dark horse because we went to those games on Friday nights, and those guys were just, they were larger than life, man. We really looked up to them, man. Guys like for me, like guys like Tim Boykin and Kenneth the Hitman Ashley, those guys, man. Those were the guys that we wanted to be like. So definitely understand for any players. I don't care if you're a freshman or a senior, man. If you're out there on that field, man, there's some kids out there that's looking up to you and you're a role model, man. So carry yourself accordingly and you know um, definitely set the example for the next generation because like you say you never know who's watching. But appreciate those insights, fellas, man. A lot of great stuff, man. I know we done went late into the night here, man, but before we move to start closing out, man, does anybody else have any other things, anything else you want to talk about, anything else you want to touch on real quick?
All right, man. Just a shout out to everybody in the chat, everybody that watches our videos or shows us love. We greatly appreciate y'all.
Shout out to all the coaches that's out there giving their time, taking their time away from families on Friday nights to go out here and make sure they can make these kids get to the playoffs and teach these kids how to be good, responsible young men. You know what I'm saying? I thank you, coaches, because, hey, that's a lot on you. You know what I'm saying? Your wife having to travel to the game or might not be able to travel to the game. So, coaches, we want to thank y'all, each and every one of y'all, for all that y'all do. You know what I'm saying? People don't understand that it's a two-way street for them coaches too. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate every coach that goes out there and whether it's win, lose, or draw, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we understand that you got a home life too.
Mm, boy.
Yes, sir. Yes. All right, fellas. So, if no one's got anything else, man, we want just to remind everybody in the chat, man. Wednesday night, lock in with us on Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. We're going to go through all the round four matchups, game by game. I know. I saw a comment in
Mm.
chat that was spending it tonight. I apologize for any confusion, but Wednesday nights, that's when we're going to do our preview show of all these games coming up. So we'll be talking about some of these are different teams and different opponents that will be some our teams will be facing this week. So lock in with us 7 o'clock live here on Facebook. Hopefully we'll get the Instagram back right, and of course on YouTube. But let me take the time to thank these gentlemen again for taking the time and out there weekend and sharing their insights and just coming up here talking ball with us. Everyone in the chat that's been listening, participating in the chat, commenting. Thank y'all. Anybody that's liked and shared the video, appreciate y'all. We appreciate all the support. Once again, man, I'm gonna give a shout out to 18 Studios for sponsoring this video. If you haven't done so already, man, swing by their page, like, share, follow. A lot of great content on that end. So we're gonna go ahead and close things out, man. Chris Harris, Buck Sweet Sports Podcast. Everyone enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you guys Wednesday night, 7 o'clock.